I heal my hair loss naturally. Let's talk about supplements. Supplements are something that's basically unavoidable for us in the modern world, because not only are a lot of us not getting the nutrients that we need, a lot of us are actually not absorbing the nutrients that we're taking in. So as a general rule, I am quite conservative with supplements. I do believe that supplements have to be individually targeted to the person, because supplements also have the ability to do more harm than good if they're used incorrectly. With supplements, I believe that a lot of what we need, we should be striving to get from our diet, from our environment, rather than just supplements, just relying on supplements as our primary source of minerals, vitamins, micronutrients, etc. So this is how I recommend you tailor your supplements to you. Number one, you need to get blood work done and see where you're at with your biomarkers, with your micronutrients, what is happening for you specifically, and think about how you can first address that via your lifestyle, and then where you have gaps, you can supplement. So how do you find where you have gaps day to day? I recommend for most of us is tracking our nutrition. You don't need to necessarily do this forever. You can do this for a week or two just to see what your baseline intake is. And then based on your baseline intake, you can tailor what supplements you're actually needing day to day or week to week. So now that you know what supplements you need, where you need to kind of address gaps, how do you select the supplements for you? So I should preface to say that supplements are not a regulated industry, and therefore there can be a lot of variation in quality. There can be a lot of variation in integrity when it comes to supplements. When you're selecting the appropriate supplements for you, think about, number one, the brand of supplement that it is. Is it a generally trusted brand? Do they do third-party testing? Is it something that's scientifically backed? Do they have any studies associated with their supplements? What ingredients are they using, etc., etc. Number two, think about the form of the supplement. So is it a liquid, a capsule, a tablet, a gummy? Liquids are generally most easiest absorbed. I'm going to put on the screen which forms are absorbed the easiest to most difficult. Based on that, you can choose what is the most easiest absorbed for you. Three is going to be sourcing of supplements. So a lot of supplements are most bioavailable when they come from animal sources. I know this is an ethical consideration for a lot of people, so this is something you need to be aware of, especially when it comes to things like iron. For example, there are different types of iron. Heme iron is easiest absorbed versus something that's elemental or synthetic. Animal sources are generally most bioavailable rather than synthetic sources. So you need to also look at that to see where the actual supplement or the actual ingredients are coming from. Number four, you need to also consider what other ingredients are included in the supplements. So there can be a lot of filler ingredients, things like sugar, things like flavors. If that is something that's appropriate for you, only you can really make that decision. But consider those things as well. It's not always an absolute no-no, because ultimately the best supplement is going to be one that you're actually going to take. So if you don't like certain textures or if you don't like certain flavors, consider the actual logistical way that you're going to take these supplements and consider the impact on your day-to-day routine. Is this something that you're going to be able to do? For example, I don't love liposomal textures, but in certain supplements, I have been able to tolerate that depending on the taste and depending on which supplement it is and like my personal perception of how important it is for me. Sensory considerations matter for a lot of people as well, and those are very individual. Number five, think about possible interactions with medications and with other supplements. This is something that you should consult with your pharmacist about. If you take any medication, you should do your due diligence. This is a really important point, because not only can this put extra strain on your organs like your liver, this can also cause adverse reactions for you. So you really need to consider where things might possibly be interacting. Taking SSRIs, for example, certain antioxidants can interact with your SSRIs and make you more prone to bleeding. Or there can be hundreds and thousands of other different types of reactions between different medicines and different supplements that you need to be aware of and you need to be careful of. Number six, again, to do with safety, research the possible adverse effects that supplements can have. That's not something necessarily to be afraid of, just something to be aware of and something to act on if it happens for you, to where you either have to stop the supplement or else you have to seek medical advice, etc., etc. Think about where you are with your medications, with your other supplements, and where these new particular supplements could possibly fit into your routine, if they're needed at all, and how they're going to interact with what you're currently taking. So all in all, these are the things that I consider for myself when I select supplements. It's definitely a process. It can be very daunting when you think about it, so doing your research is paramount. If you have any questions on the brands that I personally trust for specific supplements, I'm happy to share those. I'm not sponsored by anybody. I'm not affiliated. I just have done a lot of research in that area when I was healing my hair, and I'm still doing research in that area. So if that's something you're interested in, comment your questions as well. I'd be more than happy to answer them. And follow for more, because I don't gatekeep.